On August 25th, 2020, the Women Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub took part in a traditional pipe ceremony where the name Mikwam Makwa Ikwe was given to WEC by Elder Margaret Lavely of Sagging First Nation. Mikwam Makwa Ikwe is Anishinaabe for Ice Bear Woman. The polar bear is a symbol of courage. She is strength and she is a protector. Her spirit is always within and alongside all Indigenous women entrepreneurs throughout their journeys. The cover illustration, inspired by the report itself, is composed of a designer's interpretation of Ice Bear Woman. The woman is standing on the banks of a frozen lake. To the north is a landscape of mountains set against a sky filled by northern lights. The northern lights represent the north, the land of the bear. One teaching passed on from generation to generation is the belief that the bear's power includes healing. It is said that the bear's healing power is the strongest when the northern lights dance in the sky. The mountains are representative of the many struggles and barriers, ups and downs that an Indigenous woman may face in her entrepreneurial journey. The woman, facing east, is looking forward to the future. The WEC logo is providing light, guiding the woman on her entrepreneurial journey. The polar bear, looking to the west and the past, represents the knowledge of tradition and culture. The goal of this report is to build a comprehensive description of the barriers and challenges that Indigenous women face as they develop their enterprises and to make recommendations for change. Using qualitative data collected from a series of roundtable community consultations with more than 350 participants throughout 2020, this report presents an analysis of the rich stories shared by Indigenous women entrepreneurs about their successes, challenges, and aspirations for future entrepreneurial endeavors. Throughout the report, we have included vignettes of Indigenous women who are thriving in their businesses. Indigenous women bring new and innovative products, services, and approaches to the economic community. However, they often face barriers in starting and growing their businesses, such as accessing financing and mentorship, which is described in more detail in the report. Many barriers faced by Indigenous women entrepreneurs are also obstacles for women entrepreneurs in general. However, intersectionality and important distinctions between the two groups must be understood in order to develop and implement meaningful policies that build a more equitable and inclusive ecosystem. When asked about the future of an inclusive innovation ecosystem, two themes emerged. First, the ecosystem must take a relational versus a transactional approach. When seeking support, many Indigenous women shared that they do not want to be told to go to XYZ website. They want a meaningful relationship with a dedicated support person who can walk them through each step in the process. Indigenous women entrepreneurs want to know that the person supporting them understands their culture, needs, and emphasizes with them. Secondly, more programming must be created that is specifically dedicated to Indigenous women entrepreneurs, and it's imperative that these programs are designed and delivered by Indigenous women. Indigenous women in Canada still face many of the effects of colonization, and any programs created to support Indigenous women must be cognizant of this. Indigenous women face challenges that non Indigenous people simply cannot and never will understand. For too long, Indigenous women have felt that they've been forced to fit into programs that were never designed for them to fit into. An inclusive innovation ecosystem would make space for Indigenous women to lead the way in the design and implementation of new programs and support spaces where they and their peers could be vulnerable yet feel safe. The report ends with over 30 recommendations for the ecosystem to implement. The next logical step is working with the different ecosystem groups to develop implementation strategies for the report recommendations. This will take a lot of effort and mobilizing. First, we need to identify our champions and early adopters. Who's ready? Second, we need to connect the dots by creating a coalition of support. And third, by then, we'll be creating a model of possibility and setting an example of what's possible.